Hello and welcome. This is Rufomonger. My friends, the Game Awards 2022 edition, it is right around the corner. Specifically, December the 8th is when everything goes down. And the Game Awards, while important for gaming in general for sure, is important for fighting games specifically. And obviously we're a fighting game channel, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So today we actually have two topics to talk about when it comes to the Game Awards. The actual Game Awards for fighting games, which is a little bit odd this year, let's put it that way. And also, what exactly can we expect for fighting games out of the Game Awards this year, because I think it's going to be a pretty big year. So we'll talk about that first. As you probably well know, for fighting games, we are sort of in the middle of a generational shift, if you will. Many of the current games are a bit older in the tooth, and we have games coming in the future to kind of take the torch. So Street Fighter V, older game now for sure, and Street Fighter VI on the horizon sometime 2023. Tekken 7, a little old in the tooth, and we definitely know Tekken 8 is on the horizon as well. It's been just about 2 years since the last time Mortal Kombat 11 saw any new content. It's not like NetherRealm Studios has just been sitting idly still the whole time. So basically this place, if any, because this is the last big stop before the end of the year, is a good place to announce some fighting game specific stuff. We also have a strong idea of what could be here because, well, there's some hints pointing that way. So the first big thing, I think this is the one everyone's anticipating, is the next big NetherRealm Studios game. NetherRealm Studios has a history at the Game Awards, not the least of which is Mortal Kombat 11 made its debut there. And it's very, very likely that the next NetherRealm game will be debuting this December the 8th at the Game Awards. Now, what is it? Well, not to belabor the point because we've covered this quite a bit over the last few months throughout the year, but it's almost certainly Mortal Kombat 12 because, well, one, Ed Boon has already deconfirmed Injustice 3, and all sorts of industry insiders and leakers say it's Mortal Kombat 12. Mortal Kombat 11 did not finish on the note they wanted it to finish on, and MK12 is just, like, very, very, very likely. Like I said, there's been many videos on this in the past, so anything other than Mortal Kombat 12 would be a legitimately huge shock. And honestly, the vast majority of NetherRealm fans want Mortal Kombat 12 anyways. Mortal Kombat 11, while it's certainly a good game in a lot of respects, I don't feel was as strong of a game as, say, MKX was. So the franchise definitely deserves another swing at bat just to see what can be improved upon. Now, MK12, I guess you could say in fighting game sense, would be the main event, but there's certainly a lot of other stuff going on, not the least of which is Tekken 8. So Tekken 8 made its somewhat baffling debut, didn't really show too much at EVO 2022, and then later we got the trailer that you're seeing right now showcasing off some gameplay, which is great. And in case you didn't know, this is actual gameplay, so this isn't just like some sauced up trailer stuff. This is actual gameplay. From the single player mode, yes, but gameplay nevertheless. Now that said, what are the odds of Tekken 8 showing up at the Game Awards? Fairly decent, I would say. When Tekken 8 made its debut at EVO 2022, immediately, like following the trailer being posted, you can see this tweet. Given the account, given the prominence of the event, I always took this as kind of like a wink and a nod. Hey, you'll probably see a bit more at the Game Awards for Tekken 8. Certainly not a guarantee by any stretch, but to me it seems somewhat likely. Now, another very large game to say the least, Street Fighter VI. Now, Street Fighter VI is a bit of a toss-up. Now, Capcom is very, very friendly to trade shows. Capcom does a lot of work at trade shows for sure, but there's nothing pointing to Street Fighter VI at the TGAs at this moment. We do know in a few days from now, actually, they do have a Street Fighter 35th anniversary showcase in Osaka, where a new playable build will be showcased there, but in terms of news, we don't know. So right now, there's nothing pointing to any upcoming Street Fighter 6 news for the rest of the year, but this is a big event, has a lot of eyeballs, and if you're looking to announce something fairly big, this would be a good place for it. Like, say, a big trailer showcasing new characters, a release date, perhaps an open beta, something like that. This would be the place to do it because there's simply no other places to do this for the rest of the year other than just doing it on your own time and on your own dollar. So will Street Fighter 6 be there? Honestly, it's a bit of a toss-up, but it definitely would be to their benefit to be there. And for other fighting game things, like say the King of Fighters 15, I know it's not as high profile as some of the other games mentioned here, but the King of Fighters 15 has shown up at a lot of the Jeff Keighley aligned events, And, well, we do know that Season 2, featuring all new characters, new balance, and, of course, crossplay across all platforms is great, right? That's fantastic. So, at some point, you got to make announcements with that, and considering how friendly Jeff Keighley has been to the King of Fighters 15, there's a chance it could show up. Not a guarantee, for sure, but a chance. And, of course, there's just a lot of mysteries. This is always about, building up anticipation and hype, all that kind of stuff, right? So, perhaps one of the biggest fighting game-related things at the show would be something we would never even anticipate. Like earlier in the year, it was speculated pretty strongly that a new Killer Instinct is in development. And could it make its debut here? Oh, probably not, honestly. But you know what? Nothing's impossible. And of course, just for gaming in general, there'll be all sorts of great things, I'm very, very sure. So now all that said on the speculation end of things, let's talk about actual proper fighting game awards at the Game Awards 2022. So if you go to the Game Awards website, and I'll link that in the video description for you if you want to check it out, you can vote on all sorts of categories, best performance, best game, best action game, best this, that, and the other, right? And you can cast your vote for everything across a myriad of categories. And one of the categories is, well, best fighting game. So here are the nominees for best fighting game. So we have DNF Duel, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R, The King of Fighters 15, Multiverses, and Sifu. And you probably see the issue right out of the gate, right? So to preface, I think Sifu is a good game. I have heard nothing but good things about it. I'm unfortunately never got around to playing it myself, but once again, heard nothing but good things. Great. But is it a fighting game? No, it is not. And honestly, it's somewhat insulting to put a non-fighting game in the fighting game category. Not a knock against Sifu itself, because I think it's a perfectly fine game, so maybe put it in the action category instead. Oh wait, they did. Action games are not fighting games. They're very good. I love me some action games, right? But they're definitely not fighters, and yet Sifu is somehow in both. I understand Sifu has, some timing mechanics, some of the mindset you would use in a fighting game, I suppose. But so does Bayonetta, or Devil May Cry, those style of games. And Bayonetta definitely isn't in the fighting game category. So once again, not to knock Sifu as a game, because it's a good game from everything I've heard. Just, it is incredibly misplaced in this category. So that said, though, one thing that could have been here, because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which is a remake style game of an already existing game, then they definitely could have put in the Capcom Fighting Collection as one of the nominees, as this one of the better fighting game releases this year for sure. Great collection, great bang for your buck, all sorts of features, good quality rollback netcode on all the games in the collection. Like, better nominee option than Sifu at the very least to me. But still, these are the options you have available. I would highly suggest you go out and vote. Myself, I'll just make it clear, I'm definitely voting for the King of Fighters 15. Given the list anyways, to me it's the clear winner, clearly the best game of the bunch. And that is the news as it currently stands. So the Game Awards is a big deal for gaming as a whole, 100%. But given that we have the new generation of fighters coming up here, and hopefully not too far away for some of them, this is probably a good a place as any. Now here, I'll leave you with one little mind-blowing factoid, I suppose, before we close out. So Mortal Kombat 11, when it made its debut, it debuted at the Game Awards in December and released in April. And as you may recall, as we talked about in a previous video, Street Fighter 6 unfortunately looks like it's not making that February date that we all hoped for, right? So there's a chance Mortal Kombat 12, despite not being announced yet, might actually launch before Street Fighter 6. Once again here, Mortal Kombat 11, announced December, launched April. You know what else launched April? Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat X, Mortal Kombat 11, Injustice. April is a date that NetherRealm Studios releases games. Certainly no guarantee of the future, for sure, but there is an established pattern there. But what I'm saying here is Mortal Kombat 12 and Street Fighter 6 could be releasing very closely to each other. And if that's the case, that's going to be the craziest stuff for the fighting game community in a very long time. Just spitballing, we gotta wait and see, but still, it's a thought I had. Now that said, well, now we're at the end of the video, friends, so thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.